So the invention and rapid growth of social media means that we're just more social now than we would have been, right? You have basically an entire global economy worth of people interacting with you and people you know on a daily basis. So the concept of a small, secluded town kind of doesn't really exist anymore. The only people that are outside of this loop are like uncontacted tribes in the fucking Amazon and shit. And even them, they fucking get airdrops and shit from like airplanes, not like the phone. You know what I mean? So it's just a much more social world, even though a lot of people are becoming socially isolated because of social media. We're starting to see people interact on an international level. See, oftentimes when I go out into my city, Charlotte, North Carolina, I meet people with accents all the time. I would say actually more often than not, I meet somebody from another country or from another state. Definitely not. It's very rare that I meet somebody that is a local to North Carolina. This like global economy of people, right? So I have to be as social as I possibly can, right? Or as good at being social as I possibly can. If you think about it, right? Because in this day and age, social interaction is very important. The fact that you have so many different people coming in from all these different places, and you have more people than you would have ever interacted with in your life, you need to be able to interact with them well. Every man, I'm going to just make this claim right now, every man needs to be a 10 out of 10 in socializing, right? Every man can become a 10 out of 10 in socializing. Let me tell you a story. So about 3 weeks ago is my 21st birthday. Okay. So the night before I turned 21, I decided to go out with my friends because it was a Saturday night. Get off work early, thankfully. I go get changed and I meet at my friend's house. And before I met at my friend's house, I called one of my other friends and I was like, we're going out tonight. You need to approach 3 girls. That's your birthday gift to me, right? Because I'm trying to get everybody to approach girls and shit and get better at the skill of talking to women, right? Because a lot of these guys that I hang out with are low-key kind of losers when it comes to women. So he said no, because he has a date with a girl. He's like, no, I have a date with this girl. Why would I go talk to other women? I'm like, you're fucking stupid because it's probably not going to work out with this girl and you're going to feel dumb later on not even talking to women. I'm like, if it makes you feel better, if you get somebody's number, which you're not, throw it away. Honestly. And he wouldn't do it. So I was like, all right, we're boxing. I'm going to box you. And if I win, which I am going to win, even though he's like 200 pounds, I'm like 160. I'm like, I know I'm going to beat you, but we're going to box. And if I win, you have to do it. He's like, okay, sure. I show up and I start talking to him. I'm like, dude, you got to do the challenge. You got to approach 3 girls. He's like, I know, this guy already convinced me. One of my other friends had already convinced him. But I was like, oh, okay, we're still boxing. And he's like, yeah, of course. So I'll show you the clip, actually. We had a nice little boxing match. It was not even 1 round, right? He gave up after the first 2 minutes and a half. I got some good shots in. He got some decent shots in. I definitely won, right? If you look at the official scorecard. And that boxing match was after our first shot. It was 5 of us, and we finished a bottle of, what is it? Patron. Bottle of Patron. It was a nice one. It was like the yellow one. That shit was amazing. We drank some whiskey too, in my friend's garage. And then we just went to downtown Charlotte. On the way there, we're like talking to people on the subway. Me and my friends, I'm with my friend and my cousin, and then 2 other friends of mine. My friend and my cousin are Greek, like I am. We speak Greek. So we're speaking Greek on the train, because there's some people there we don't want them to hear. And we get into a conversation with these people on the train that they kind of look homeless, right? And we're just talking to them about like, you know, oh, this guy was like, oh, he's Puerto Rican. And one of my friends is Puerto Rican. And then we just all started talking about ethnicity and nationalities. And it's like 8 of us on the fucking light rail having this conversation about like ethnicity and shit. It was already amazing. We're all fucking shit-faced drunk at this point, basically. Okay, so we arrived downtown, and the first thing we decided to do is to go get more drinks. So we go to this place, right? I'm not going to say what it is or what it is, but it's like a bar, right? Big outdoor patio. It's a nice place. We go in, I order a beer, right? And even though I'm technically still 20, because it's the nighttime, it's like 11 p.m. Like I turned 21 in an hour. They still serve me. So that was nice. And I got a fucking, I don't know, some lager beer, drinking it. And me and my buddies go sit down outside. And we're just talking. I'm drunk as fuck. We're all drunk as fuck. And we're just kind of like talking randomly, and I'm like, this is a little boring. So I turn around and I see a bunch of girls sitting behind us, like on the bench. This is our bench, right? They're here on this bench, and I'm like sitting right here. And I turn around and I go, I just look at one of the girls and I go, "How would you rate yourself out of 10?" And she goes, "That's such a weird question." And she was braiding her friend's hair, right? And her friend turns around and just starts yapping like, she's fucking 11 out of 10, like, the basic shit. But this girl yapping has an accent, and I'm like, fuck, I love girls with accents. And she's short and she's pretty cute. She's blonde, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, where are you from? And she goes, Italy. And it turned out it was a group of 6 girls, all from Italy, here in my city. Basically, I started this conversation with these girls. We're talking about Italy. I bring all my guys in. Now it's an 11-person conversation because it's 5 of us and 6 of them, and we're just talking, right? And it's quite a nice conversation. And then I'm like, okay, it's starting to get close to midnight, and I want to leave, and I want to go more towards the center, right? And I tell these girls, I'm like, yeah, we got to go. And I asked the short girl, I was like, hey, are you single? I think that's what I said. It's something like that. I was like, do you have a boyfriend? I don't remember. I was really drunk at this point. Okay, you got to excuse me. So she goes on, why do you want to know? I'm pretty sure she was drunk too. And I was like, I think you're cute. That's why. She was like, oh, whatever. And I think I said you're kind of cute. And she started yapping, where I'm 100% cute. I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, I did end up getting her number. And then so me and the boys left, right? And they tried to get one of the other girls' numbers, but she wasn't interested in them. So W, right? So I leave. We start going more towards downtown. And what happened next? We're just walking by people and saying shit, right? Like, we started catcalling dudes, right? Anytime we'd see a guy walk by, like, yo, this motherfucker's sexy as hell, man. What the fuck? Like, I like your shirt, man. Like, we just thought it was funny because when you catcall guys, right? Guys actually like to be, harassed a little bit, even though we're just fucking around, because men never get attention. So you compliment a guy and you just see his face fucking light up and he's so excited. And it's just, we probably talked to like 50 dudes on the way to where we were going. And it was just wild. And we end up at this place, right? And somewhere else in the city. We walked like a few miles down. And it's like a little nightclub. So before we go in, I'm like, yeah, I got to go get something to eat real quick. We go inside. I eat something. I talked to some of the waitresses in there. I talked to this dude in the bathroom. I don't even remember he was like there for a wedding. He had like a full suit on. And dude, I don't remember. It was like a fucking blur. And then, but I do remember the nightclub. And we all go to the nightclub. And before we go to the nightclub, my cousin found a fucking snake, like a girl that had a really big fucking snake, right? That's not a euphemism for a dick. No, she had an actual like yellow fuck. I'll show you the picture. I was like, okay. He left while we were eating, and he came back and showed us the pictures. And I was like, what the fuck? Where did you find this fucking snake, dude? We're like, you were gone for like 5 seconds. I don't know. It was funny. And then after that, we go to the nightclub, and I'm in there with my buddies. We're just walking around. One of my friends met a girl, like made out with her, which was sick. I walked up to this girl who was like on her phone. I just started talking to her, and she didn't seem like receptive at first. She kind of like pulled away, but I started talking to her more, and she seemed more into it. You know what I mean? And I don't remember what I asked for. I don't even remember what the fuck I said to her, but I remember her response was I was like coming on to her a little bit, and she said, I'm on FaceTime with my boyfriend right now. And I was like, how are you as a woman in a nightclub on FaceTime, on fucking call with your boyfriend? Like, what the fuck? That shit was insane to me. I was like, God damn, that's kind of fucked up. If I was a boyfriend, I'd be pissed, right? You're putting yourself in this environment. People are drinking and harassing you. Like, okay, I wasn't harassing her, but you know what I mean? You're in a very social environment where people go like to desperately find somebody to have sex with. You know what I mean? We were just there to drink and have fun, right? But it was weird. And what's funny is she seemed very receptive to me, like towards the end. And I was like, I could probably get this chick to hang up on this guy and do something with her. But I was like, whatever. I'm kind of bored of this fucking nightclub anyway. So I go and get my buddies. I get 2 of my buddies, right? But the other 2 guys stayed behind, right? I couldn't find them. So we leave the nightclub. The other 2 guys are still there. and the other dude is still in there, and we leave, and we just start walking around, okay? And we find a construction site, and we walk in to the construction site. We just walk right, the door was open. We looked around to try to find an entrance, and we didn't see anything. And then my buddy's like, oh, let me just try this door right here. I'm like, you really think they would let the door? And he just pushes it wide open. No fucking like knob. The door was just open. I was like, okay, so I guess we're going in. We go in, and it was like an apartment complex with an integrated parking garage. It was quite nice. That is not the first one that we have entered. So we go in, all the bottom floors are like unfinished. We go in, we go all the way to the top, the 8th story, and all of the apartments up top are finished. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome, dude. And I go to one on the corner, and I just open the door and go into the apartment. And it has like a nice outdoor fucking like deck type of thing. And I go outside, and there's a balcony. I don't know why the fuck I couldn't think of the name. And I took like a picture of with downtown behind me sitting on the balcony. I'll show you the picture. And we were just taking stupid pictures, like laying on the sink, like you know what I mean, like all sexy and shit. It was so much fun, and we were in there for like 20 minutes, and we were like, okay, we got to get the fuck out of here. It's like 2 a.m. at this point. We leave, we go down, we meet up with the other guys, right? I left the parking garage place like a different way than my buddies did. Like I kind of low-key did some parkour, like jumping down here and sliding through fences, and left. They're not as athletic as me, so they couldn't go the way that I went. I met up with them like 30 minutes later. So it's like 2:30 now a.m. and I'm calling them. I'm like, are y'all like fucking out yet? Like what the fuck? Did I get busted? And we met up with the boys, and then we all just dipped. It was a crazy. There's so many details I'm forgetting. I talked to so many people. We met a few like groups of girls on the way to the nightclub. Like I just don't even remember. It was so much shit happened that night. But fuck man, like that's the type of shit that's you go out and you have fun and you have stories to tell. That's what I mean about being more social. So when you have like experiences going out and doing bullshit, you have more stories to tell. Right? If I didn't have like a bunch of experiences going out, I wouldn't be as likable. Like when I'm with a bunch of dudes that maybe I've known from when I was younger, right? A group of dudes that I just kind of know a little bit. I'm not close with them, but I meet up with them and I'm like, oh yeah, man, like a few weeks ago, like we went and did this shit, and everybody's laughing and they're like, yo, what the fuck? No way. Like you broke into a construction site, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, you know, this and that. I seem like more of an interesting person, right? If I didn't have these stories, I'd be boring. I'd meet up with these guys and be like, you know, nothing. I just worked all day and didn't do anything. You know, that would be pretty stupid. I would feel like a bitch, basically. And honestly, when it comes to like the business of YouTube, going out and being more social helps my fucking YouTube channel, right? When I come back with these stories and I come back with these experiences, like, you know, I'm not bullshitting when I say I'm out there being social and I'm having fun and I'm getting these experiences and I'm being good at being social. You know what I mean? See, I would actually be less credible if I was terrible at socializing. I might be a fucking millionaire, right? I could be rich. I could be famous, maybe not famous, but if I was rich and I had all these cars and all this shit going for me, but I wasn't good at socializing. Like I couldn't network. I couldn't talk to guys and like make them laugh and be like, oh, yo, no fucking way. If I couldn't interest other people, like spark interest in them, then I would be boring. None of that fucking money would mean anything, right? If you can't make friends, if you have no credibility, it's just kind of stupid. So, see, people improve, like they go to the gym all the time and they improve all these parts of their lives, except for socializing, except for the part that really fucking matters. Like I know fat dudes who are just very interesting people, and I'd rather be around them, you know what I mean, than I would be with some fucking loser millionaire. Honestly. And in today's day and age, obviously, people that are rich, they know how to network and all this stuff. It's just another skill that you need to have, basically. As far as actually being more social, there's a few things you can do that are pretty easy. All you need to do is just go out more, okay? Dress nice. Go out more and dress nice. That's the two things. You can go out with friends. That's great. Just go where there's people. Okay, you might think, oh, there's no people here my age. Well, go try it out. You know, you might have a funny experience with a MILF. You know, you might walk away with some stories. You're gonna have fun. You know what I mean? Go approach random people. Try to be funny. You know what I mean? The more you're out there, the more likely you are to have something happen that's gonna make you better socially, right? Some crazy shit happens to you that makes you better socially as a social person, because now you have a story to tell. You have a lesson learned from it. You can tell it to other people. You have that experience. You feel better about yourself. You're like, yeah, I've done some crazy shit. I'm not saying go break the law. Like, I'm not saying you have to go break into construction sites or anything, but you know what I mean. And if you don't have friends and going out alone is perfectly fine, you have to go out confidently, right? And go talk to people. It's going to be hard. I know, well, you're probably not going to want to go talk to people, but you have to. That's like a necessary step, is to know how to walk up to somebody you don't know and strike up a conversation. You know what I mean? Go to like bars, breweries, go to music festivals. That's a great place to meet people. Go to like raves and shit. Raves are awesome. I don't look, I like going to metal concerts because I like metal music, but the people there suck. The people at raves are awesome. Raves, I always have some fun shit happen at raves, right? Always. Like, I'll literally go wear some goofy shit and people want to take pictures of me. Like, I don't have the picture because these bitches didn't send it to me, but I went to a music festival dressed up as dressed up as Gus Fring from Breaking Bad. I had a Los Pollos Hermanos shirt and I wore like khakis and I wore like glasses. And even though I'm white, it was funny. Like, I was walking and these two girls were like, "Oh my god, can we take a picture with you? He's Gus Fring." It's like, and I took the picture with him in front of some fucking urinals outside, like the Porta Johns. That shit was so funny. I gave them my Instagram to send it to me and they never did. But just go out and try more shit. Like, you know what I mean? I just had another story. I went to this music festival dressed up as Gus Fring. I had a lot of people say shit to me. Or one thing I did one time was a different music festival. I went around shirtless basically, but I had shirts tied around my shoulder. I had like 7 shirts on, but not wearing one, right? So I had one tied around my head. I had one tied around my neck. I had like 2 around my shoulder. I had one around my waist. I think I even had some around my fucking legs, right? And I just went around and like I was asking girls to sign their names on my body. And actually some girls did sign it. And the first girl that did it signed a little heart too. And then afterwards I was like, damn, she was into me. I should have done something. But fuck. Like, music festivals, like I just said, those are all like rave festivals, like fucking, I don't know, Illenium and Dead Mouse and who else? Zed. Like, you know, all the EDM guys basically. So those are the types of places you go and you just meet people, have crazy experiences. You can network with people, you know, go fucking take photos and shit of you doing something at the rave with people and then post it on Instagram. You know what I mean? Growing your social media too, like doing fun shit, going out doing crazy shit and posting it and making your life look interesting as fuck is another pro tip. Basically, just try new things. Try to get a story out of whatever social interaction you have, basically. Just me having these stories, like when I go and I talk to somebody, even if I tell these stories to like a girl, she's going to be like, "Oh, wow, this guy's amazing." Maybe not, but you know what I mean? Like, I seem like more of an interesting person. And I might even seem like more interesting than I really am, because I might be a boring person, but because I've gone out and done crazy shit and have had a lot of fun and I know how to like just have fun, basically, people are attracted to that. Not just women, everybody. When you have fun, people like to have fun. Women and men will want to join you when you do fun shit. If you hit up a bunch of people and you're like, "Yo, we're all going to go out on this day and we're going to go do some crazy shit," who's going to say no to that? If you're like this is guaranteed fun, you know what I mean? Oh, maybe that girl has a boyfriend and maybe this guy is like has to work that day. If you get a bunch of people that you meet out, right, and network, get their Instagrams, and then you organize something with them and tell them there's going to be a bunch of people there, like you hype it up, you know, sales shit, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have another story to tell. Maybe you'll be like down the line, like, "Yeah, man, like I went out, I got all these dudes' Instagrams, right? And then we fucking organized an event and nobody showed up. I mean, just me and this one guy showed up and we went out and got shit faced. And, you know, I ended up taking a girl home or something." Like, you know, you might have a crazy story like, "Yo, and then this guy got fucking arrested and that guy punched a cop," you know, crazy shit. Just having fun, go out, do more shit, dress nice, have good hygiene. I need to shave a little bit, but other than that, it's not too hard to make friends. Being social is actually pretty easy because naturally humans are social. And another thing, if you're afraid to talk to people, people love to be talked to. People love it when somebody random that they don't know comes up and talks to them because they feel important. You know, a lot of women that are out, they want people to approach them. So don't be afraid of doing that. It's a normal human thing. Everybody does it.